Well, good morning, our beloveds. Our another has actually made a request. She was going to post something on her own, but we think it would be best if we bring in spirit because we help to define the nuances that the brain cannot grasp yet. You all are evolving and adapting, whether you choose to or not. Those who are embracing it are maybe leaning into it more. And those who are not leaning into it are probably just being dragged forward. But everyone is being evolved, adapted, and expanded. It's not a choice. It is really a privilege. If you are in a cave and the air quality is poor, it will impact everyone, whether you are aware of it or not. And then equally important, if everyone is in the same cave and the air quality is astoundingly healthy, everyone will be impacted, whether you choose to or not. The vibration and the frequency and the experience is shifting, and that means that how you perceive life now will be vastly different than, let's say, 10, 20, or 30 years ago, assuming you were alive and really in that cognitive state of understanding. But the thing that most of you all don't understand is what healing from trauma requires. You cannot run from it. You cannot ignore it. You cannot pretend that all is well. And you cannot talk yourself out of it. Right now, if something bubbles up, allow it to bubble up, feel it, acknowledge it, and see if you can figure out where it is situated in you. Just notice, where does this discomfort show up? Is it in your knees, your lower back, your chest, your heart, your head, your neck, your hip, your thigh? Where are you noticing this particular uncomfortable thing? Pretend that you have to take a gingerbread cutout of a human and point to where you are feeling that. That way you don't have to describe or define what it is that you are feeling. You just have to simply mark on a piece of paper with an X, this is where I felt it. That allows you to tune into the somatic part of your body and not the thinky part. You all are overthinking this, every single one of you. When change occurs or arises, it is difficult, it is uncomfortable. You like your rhythms, your routines, your predictability. But in order to go from point A to point B, you need to allow yourself to move. And that requires acceptance that your surroundings, your people, your job, your income, your overall experience may change on a dime. When catastrophes occur, you are forced to change and adapt. When you have the possibility or the probability of making a decision where change is permissible, you oftentimes shy away from the bigger things because of the unknown factors involved. And we would just encourage you all not to pursue change or not, but to tune into your body to see, is there excitement about this? Is there fear or dread? Is the fear or dread because of the fear and worry of the unknown, or because you feel like this really would be a poor choice and something doesn't feel right within your somatic experience? Somatic is the feeling part, not the thinking part. When you all come back online, and you are, you may be at 1%, 5%, 10%. It varies by person. But people are coming back online and they're beginning to feel more of their emotions and their adaptations, their coping mechanisms. If you are on medication which numbs this, more of it will be breaking through. And it is not because you're broken, but because you are healing. We simply offer this insight into everyone is going through this in one form or another, because we are shaking loose what no longer serves you. So lean into it. Allow yourself to feel anger and disgust and frustration and just a lot of negative emotions. Allow yourself to honor and acknowledge without necessarily taking any action on it. I am really angry because you betrayed my trust. I am really angry because I feel like my parents didn't show up. I am really angry because I feel that this system discriminates against the marginalized communities. I am really angry because I feel like my taxes are going to pay for others and I don't want to. Just verbalize it, honor it, and acknowledge it. That's the starting point. But then also recognize everyone else is going through this as well. Offer others some compassion right now as all of your hidden emotions, dark, screamy, angry, violent even, are bubbling up. Notice what you have suppressed for so many years by pretending all was well and that life was glorious, even though it wasn't. Once you allow yourself to feel these emotions and to recognize that this is part of the human experience, you will then notice how your somatic piece will come back online. And when you get dysregulated, the term that our another uses now, when something triggers you, you will notice the beginning stages of it in your body. You will recognize it because you won't be numb, and you will say, oh, there's my fear coming up. I recognize it. That's what it feels like. And in that moment, if possible, you can start extending some self-care and self-love to yourselves. Put your hand on your heart, on your belly, on your head, on your shoulders. Rub your thighs, jump up and down, whatever works. Allow yourself to feel what's coming up right now. It is meant to be released into the universe and replaced with something more caring and loving. But you need to do the inner work. You can't just sing and chant mantras. There is shadow work to be done as well, where you say, I am a being of light, but I also do have darkness within me, which consists of negative feelings, thoughts, desires, and wishes. And I'm going to allow myself to express that without taking action. And the more that you can acknowledge that side of you, the more you will be able to acknowledge that this exists in others as well. And that's where the compassion comes from. You cannot love and embrace something in others until you love and embrace it in yourselves. That is the journey of healing, and that is how humanity will come back together. By self-love and self-exploration, so that you can then share that with others. And so it is. Namaste.